The United Kingdom and Aritzia, the future of the fashion industry. The big idea. Aritzia is a high-end retail and fashion brand that has an opportunity to expand into the global market. The main reason for potential is related to their trendy styles that they make for everyone to wear. The area I chose to implement Aritzia into is the United Kingdom, as they are similar countries with cultural and business similarities. The company. Aritzia is a popular brand that was founded in 1984 by Brian Hill in Vancouver, British Columbia. Aritzia is a high-end boutique targeted mainly towards women clothing with unique styles, with 84 locations in North America and 63 of those being in Canada. One of the main focuses and goals of the company is to create a strong relationship with the consumer and help them style with personalized help to create the best experience overall. Their business objectives are also aligned with social media tactics and a large e-commerce website. The United Kingdom. The climate and time. The climate within the United Kingdom is temperate and moderated by prevailing southwest winds that travel over the North Atlantic Current. More than half of the calendar days in a year are overcast and usually rainy, which falls throughout the year. The mild weather conditions are the perfect environment for all types of businesses, as there is no need to endure safety precautions and hefty price insurance coverages for natural hazards, making the ideal business environment. The time difference is Coordinated Universal Time, which is plus 0 hours and is used as the standard time. Compared to Canada Eastern Standard Time, Canada is 5 hours behind the United Kingdom. With a standard time zone, communication for business purposes is not as disruptive compared to countries who have a time difference of 12 or more hours, which makes international business more challenging. Natural hazards and environmental issues. Natural hazards include winter windstorms and flooding. The current environmental issues are as follows: air pollution, which remains a concern but has improved over recent years, soil pollution from pesticides and heavy metals, and decline in the marine and coastal habitats brought on by environmental stressors such as housing, tourism, and industries. The natural hazards in the UK are rare and not as damaging as those found in other countries. With minimal weather and environmental issues, businesses are able to run successfully without having to worry about major insurance coverages and other uncontrollable risks imposed by the environment. The environmental issues found are not just limited to the UK, but also very common around the world. For example, air pollution is very common in cities, which have many modern and industrial advancements despite the negative environmental effect. Businesses have the potential to thrive within densely populated cities with modern advancements in infrastructure and in technology. The Atlantic Ocean and the North Sea, with a total area of 243,610 kilometers squared. It consists of rugged hills and low mountains with rolling plains. The United Kingdom is a sovereign state, similar to France and the United States, made up of 4 regions: England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. The United Kingdom is a leading trading power and financial center with the 3rd largest economy in Europe, after Germany and France. Relative geographic location is integral for a successful business environment, with factors such as transport costs, land, safety, population demographics, and competition. The UK is home to internal and international accessibility throughout its major booming cities, a world network of financial centers with global banking headquarters, and a large affluent market. These are just some of the factors that make the UK an ideal business environment, which allows the economy and businesses within to thrive. The capital city of the United Kingdom is London, which is also the capital of England. It is a megacity located on the River Thames in the southeast of the United Kingdom. London is one of the world's leading cities in commerce, finance, education, healthcare, research, and development, making it a significant human settlement area. It has a population of more than 8 million individuals, and it is the world's leading investment destination with substantially high net worth individuals and more retailers than any other city in the world. London is also the largest financial center in the world and ranked in 6th place for the largest GDP. All things considered, London is a service-dominated city with excellent infrastructure and a business-friendly environment. Other major cities include Birmingham and Greater Manchester. Birmingham is the second largest city in the United Kingdom, located in the center of England, with crossing points of the national railway and motorway systems. A total population of 2.84 million people scattered throughout the major international commercial center, making the city's economy. The GDP is an average of 121 billion, the second largest economy in the UK after London. With several universities, Birmingham is one of the largest higher education centers, allowing students to become well-rounded and intelligent individuals. Greater Manchester is one of Europe's most affordable cities with a cost-living index of below 95, and is also the third largest city and third most visited city in the UK. A total population of 2.8 million, whom of which live there, for now its geographic and country without administrative authority. National population is over 67 million, with constituent countries' population: England with over 55 million, Scotland with 5 million, Wales with 3 million, and Northern Ireland with almost 2 million. The population growth rate is a steady 0.51%, which still creates steady demand growth. Majority of the population is located in England, which is a major center for business opportunities and potential business growth due to the influx of more than 65 million annual tourists and employment rates. According to the Office of National Statistics, in 2010, there were 255 people per square kilometer, which means that it is not an extremely dense country. Demographics. The UK has two big age groups as demonstrated by the graph. They are 26 to 40 years and 50 to 56 years. Within the younger age group, it can also be seen that there is a larger population of females than males. Since Aritzia is targeted towards females within the age group of 14 to 40, they can appeal to the largest part of the population, which makes it more accessible to all. Ethnic groups and spoken languages. The majority of the United Kingdom's population is white, with a staggering percentage of 87.2. Considering the little diversity that is present within the United Kingdom, the major religion is also Christianity, which falls under Anglican, Roman Catholic, Presbyterian, and Methodist, making up 60% of the religious population. The main language spoken is English, and the UK is not known for its multilingual individuals, which in hindsight is an advantage when considering foreign business. This is because you are able to avoid the idea of a language barrier, which restricts the amount of business you can create between two countries. Transportation. There are a total of 460 airports, 271 which have paved runways, and 189 which have unpaved. The total kilometers of railways is 16,837 kilometers. The total kilometers of roadways is 394,428 kilometers. The total kilometers of waterways is 3,200. 620 kilometers of these are used for commerce only. The large amount of airports allow access to international importing and exporting with ease, and enhances the business environment within the UK. London experiences the most international airways, and besides its massive passenger traffic, it also has the largest city airport system in the world. Transport in the United Kingdom is no problem due to the abundance of airways, roadways, railways, and train system, along with the mass commerce waterway system, which allow transport to be the primary economic driver. These efficient and reliable methods are attractive for all business environments and create an easier trade and more reliable income because of the high connectivity and simpler networking. Communication. There are over 61 million internet users in the United Kingdom, which is 94.8% of the total population. Mobile cellular phones have over 79 million subscriptions, and there are over 33 million subscriptions fixed telephone and home lines. The main broadcasting media of the United Kingdom is the British Broadcasting Corporation, usually known as the BBC, which is also the largest broadcasting corporation in the world. The BBC operates on a multinational, regional, and local network with multiple transmission sites. The UK has advanced technological institutions and infrastructure which effectively sustains the population of users. Extremely strong and developed, stable economy. They have an advanced capitalist economy that is very open, with a free market economy similar to that of the USA and Canada. The goods and services are distributed based on the laws of supply and demand. Competition influences profit and production rates, and the government has little control over the market. This is a type of economic system which has been successfully displayed by some of the wealthiest countries in the world where an abundance of business and international trade occurs. In 2018, the UK's GDP was 2.855 trillion US dollars, and the GNI per capita in 2018 was 41,770 US dollars. Both of these statistics are representative of a strong and developed economy. The UK is a part of the G7 group, which consists of 7 countries that are Canada, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, the United Kingdom, and the United States. These 7 countries are considered the most economically advanced countries in the world. In comparison to Canada, 1 Canadian dollar is equal to 0.58 pounds sterling, meaning that it is worse for the Canadian dollar. The inflation rate within the UK is 2.7%, and the economy is therefore stable. Having an inflation rate around 2% or lower means that the economy will be less likely to experience harmful deflation if the economy weakens. Based on the UK's inflation rate that is slightly above 2%, it allows for a well-rounded economy and increased likelihood of a business in this country to remain successful. Imports and exports exchanged with Canada. Imports in the UK consist of cars, gold, crude petroleum, refined petroleum, and packaged medicaments. In 2017, the United Kingdom imported $617 billion, making it the 5th largest importer in the world. Exports, however, consist of manufactured goods, fuels, chemicals, food, beverages, and tobacco. The UK exported 8.2 billion Great British pounds of goods and services to Canada alone in 2016. The UK is Canada's 7th largest source of goods and imports and the 2nd largest services trading partner. Benefits for business is that the trade with Canada. It offers close proximity and easier access to the US market, and there is a strong business and consumer base, with a similar legal and business practices to the UK. There are also fewer trade restrictions due to the CETA agreement, which eliminates large percent of tariffs. The top good imports to Canada are vehicles, machinery, electrical and electronic equipment, mineral fuels and oil, plastic products, optical and technical and medical apparatus, and pharmaceuticals. The top service import to Canada are travel, transport, and government services. The major export partners of the UK are the US, Germany, France, Netherlands, Ireland, China, and Switzerland. The major import partners are Germany, US, China, Netherlands, France, and Belgium. These countries are the major partners that allow the British economy to remain strong. Is 33.5 million, with the following typical occupations: agriculture, industry, and services. Agriculture is intensive and highly advanced mechanized systems which are used for efficiency, producing 60% of all food needs with less than 2% of the labor force. Services, which is especially banking, insurance, and business services, are the key forces which drive the British GDP. The minimum wage varies per age group, but for 25 years and older, it is 13.38 Canadian dollars. This is the lowest legal amount that employers can pay their employees in the United Kingdom. Though minimum wage restricts economic efficiency, it is a law put in place to eliminate employer attempts to exploit their workers and ensure that the employees are compensated at a livable rate. Minimum wage encourages more people to work as they are guaranteed a fixed income, and it creates a stable and efficient workforce. However, the UK's minimum wage is lower than Canada's minimum wage, which is $14 per hour. The unemployment rate in the UK is 4.4%. This is quite low, which means that the majority of the population is in the working force, which is good for commerce as there are many employed individuals who are contributing members of society. The unemployment rate can also determine how stable a country's economy is. Based on this low percent in the UK, it shows that the economy is thriving in a great environment which is ready and encouraging new business opportunities. The current union density is 23.2%, which recently had a slight fall caused by an increase of employment in the economy. This labor union is an organization which acts as an intermediary between its members and businesses that employ them. The purpose of this is to give workers power to negotiate for better working conditions and benefits with collective bargaining. Unionization benefits a business because a set pay standard and workplace protections are implemented, which allows workers to be more efficient and happier with their jobs, therefore creating a better business environment. The chief of state is Queen Elizabeth II and her heir, Prince Charles. The head of government is Prime Minister Boris Johnson, who was elected in 2019 as a Conservative leader. Political corruption. The United Kingdom is ranked 11th place on the Corruptions Percent Index, which is a very low level of ranking. Misuse of powers by government officials for their own personal gain is almost unheard of in this country. Canada is ranked 9th on the same scale. Both countries having low corruption rates demonstrates political stability. Brexit. The British exit, otherwise known as Brexit, was the scheduled exit of the United Kingdom's decision to leave the European Union, which is a political and economic union of 28 countries who trade with each other and allow citizens to move easily between the countries for living and working purposes. The idea of Brexit is frowned upon by some UK citizens and highly supported by others. However, people frown upon it because they are worried it will harm economic growth. These challenges are some of the few that don't make an ideal business environment, but they will be dealt with over time, although it is still a current event. Despite the backlash from citizens, Brexit occurred on January 31, 2020. Although this does not directly affect the implementation of Aritzia into the United Kingdom, it has potential to cause slight political instability, which poses risk within the country. Opportunities and obstacles. Like any other business venture, integrating Aritzia into the United Kingdom poses a slight risk. However, I believe that this decision has more benefits than the potential negatives due to the booming market. The opportunities. The main opportunity present within expanding Aritzia is the access to a new market. The United Kingdom is home to fashion hubs and has a large industry within the country. London Fashion Week occurs twice a year, and since it is much larger than Toronto's Fashion Week, this is a large opportunity for Aritzia to advance their styles and keep up with new trends. Adding themselves into a fashion-oriented city will allow for an increase in revenue for the brand, which could eventually lead for them to grow more internationally and continue to make their mark. Moreover, since one of Aritzia's main goals is to create a relationship and unique experience for the consumer, implementing themselves into this market will allow for increasing product demand by the consumer, which overall leads to brand growth. The final opportunity is the UK itself. Canada and the UK have similar cultures and customs, allowing for a seamless transition due to the lack of cultural and language barriers. Alongside this, the UK has an extremely stable economy, which removes the risk of a market crash, which could pose to be extremely harmful for the brand. Which is why this makes such a good opportunity for Aritzia. With a stable company and a stable country, it's a good mix. Obstacles. The main obstacle is rooted within competition with other brands. The competitive market has many other cheap clothing brands similar to Aritzia, such as Zara, H&M, and business casual-based brands that have the same target markets. However, Aritzia can overcome the competitive market through their many strengths. They aim to create a product that is high quality, sustainable, fashion-forward, all at a competitive price. However, what makes Aritzia truly unique is the experience they bring. They design their stores to be aesthetically pleasing and enjoyable inside with natural colors and lighting. They aim to create consumer personal relationships that make the customer always feel welcome and inclined to return. And finally, Aritzia has partnered with many famous celebrities such as Hailey Bieber and Kendall Jenner, who many people refer to as their style icons. Many other companies are not able to have as people as popular as this on social media, which highly influences people from my generation. Another obstacle that could pose as a difficulty is the potential political instability from Brexit. However, Aritzia will not be dealing with the European Union issues and just with the United Kingdom by themselves, so it will not limit their growth. With a stable economy, businesses are able to succeed and attract foreign investments and potential business deals no matter the case. Are a mixture of American, British, and French behaviors and practices. When conducting international business, it is integral to understand and abide by the different customs and culture within a country. Conveniently enough, the United Kingdom and Canada have very similar and almost identical business protocols. Greetings. Handshakes are the most appropriate greeting for both men and women. They are usually brief and firm. It is also good to practice direct eye contact during introductions. When meeting an individual who introduces themselves as Mr. or Mrs. with their surname, it is polite to use these terms until asked for their first name. Individuals of a younger generation will tend to introduce themselves with their first name and are expected to address their counterparts by also using their first names. Greetings in Canada follow the same protocol as the United Kingdom. However, when greeted by a French-Canadian colleague of the opposite gender, one is expected to be greeted with a kiss on either side of the cheek. French Canadians are also to be addressed by their preferred title as Mr., Mrs., Monsieur, or Madame, followed by their surname. Punctuality in meetings. Meetings are usually planned in advance with a set agenda, and it is uncommon to discuss topics that were not previously referenced in said agenda. Time management is extremely important within the UK. Arriving on time or slightly early is important, and tardiness is frowned upon in any professional setting, and if it cannot be avoided, one should try and inform the counterpoints for an explanation and then apologize for delay. Punctuality is equally as important in Canada as it is in the UK. A time schedule is usually devised before a meeting which will adhere to plans based on the starting time and total duration. Appropriate clothing and dress. Dress code is expected to be formal business attire, which is expected from men and women. Men usually wear darker colored suits accompanied with a shirt and tie, and women usually wear a dress, blouse, or business suit with accessories. For less formal business occasions, business casual is accepted, such as a t-shirt and jeans. The same formal attire is to be expected when attending business in Canada. It is always important to match the business attire of people you are meeting with, as it demonstrates respect to be seen and also to be gained. Business entertaining. Most of the business entertaining in the United Kingdom is done in restaurants or pubs over lunch. In more prestigious events, such as an invitation to a cricket game or a formal dinner, one must wear formal attire. The hostess will always initiate the first toast at a formal dinner. The host is usually the one who initially extended the invitations and is also the one who pays the bill. An invitation to someone's home is more common in England than in the rest of Europe. Arriving 10 to 20 minutes later than the stated time is custom in England in an entertaining situation. However, in Scotland and Wales, you must arrive on time. Asking for a tour of the home is considered impolite and is expected that business is not to be discussed at dinner in somebody's home unless a conversation is initiated by the host. It is also common courtesy to entertain anyone who has entertained you. The British prefer an understatement as an extravagant dinner, and return is too much. Business entertainment is quite similar in Canada. However, it is uncommon to receive an invitation to someone's home to discuss business matters. But the idea of arriving fashionably late is usually custom when arriving to any occasion. Etiquette and formalities are also just as important within Canada. Negotiation styles. Negotiation is usually a joint process in the UK. Both sides in a business deal own the responsibility to aim to reach a consensus always. The buyer is in a superior position, but the main negotiating style is cooperation and that people must always be open to compromising. The British believe that their respect and trust should be reciprocated, and in any open confrontation, one should remain calm, formal, and persistent. Avoiding all aggressive tactics when negotiating with the British is key. Signs of anger and threats are all warning signs that the negotiation is not going well and people are unhappy. Opening with an extreme offer can also be used as unprofessional and even childish, therefore should always be avoided. It is best to avoid gifts of significant value that could be read as bribery. When it comes to making the final decision, levels of hierarchy usually apply, and the support of influencers in management approval is required. Depending on the company's culture and style, British business will often tend to be low or moderate risk takers. Canada follows very similar negotiating tactics. However, the French Canadians will often engage in an aggressive debate to guarantee mutual agreement. Often pragmatic and open to compromise, but not a fan of bargaining and haggling. Emotional negotiation techniques are more common, and Canadian business people may employ defensive tactics such as changing the subject or asking direct questions, which is less common in the United Kingdom. The clothing store has over 63 boutique locations in Canada and 21 in the USA. The company is very successful as they are a trend-setting fashion boutique who properly align their business objectives with the social media tactics and e-commerce website. I will be discussing what there is to consider when implementing this brand into the United Kingdom for all sorts of variations to ensure that the transition is the best as it can possibly be. The first is product considerations. The products sold out of potential standing stores in the United Kingdom would remain the exact same as those sold in North America. The same logo, the same brand name, the same product quality, packaging, labeling. All of this ensures a common standard of product that can be found internationally at all Aritzia stores. There is no additional language consideration to be made, as the main language spoken in the United Kingdom is English. The clothing items that Aritzia designs are continuously pushing style boundaries because it is a trend-setting boutique. Since of this, new consumers will be intrigued and drawn to the innovative design and high-quality products that are exclusive to Aritzia, which makes them stand out from other brands that already exist within the United Kingdom. The next is consumer considerations. The target market for Aritzia is females aged 14 to 30 who are financially stable and a middle to high socioeconomic status. It is known that the United Kingdom consumers are becoming more North American based on their spending habits, but they have a much greater affinity to quality brands than North Americans. Once they discover Aritzia and its more reasonable price point and luxurious garments, they will surely be inclined to divert some of their spending from other competitors. The demographic is the real growing middle class and the consumers who imagine that they are also a part of the middle class, but in reality can only afford a mid-price point. The imagined growing middle class that can only afford a mid-price point has psychographic determinations that makes them want to engage in the aristocratic imaging of Aritzia. For example, this is the same demographic that would rather buy a low-end Mercedes-Benz than a high-end Ford. The association with high quality and name and brand is what makes Aritzia so desirable. The association with a more upscale product is recognizable and elevates your social status. Place considerations. Aritzia would use direct, specialty, and exclusive channels of distribution. Aritzia already uses an exclusive distribution method as their products cannot be purchased in any other store, so the company takes on direct responsibility for the products sold in their own retail stores and manufactured to their exclusive brand standard in plants located in Cambodia and Vietnam. The use of e-distribution is one of the most effective methods to distribute products. Ordering clothing through the Aritzia website would allow new customers to easily purchase items from the comfort of their own home without having to travel to varying select store locations. Online purchases are efficient because consumers can easily obtain the item they want and are likely to purchase the product over a competitor store who doesn't have an e-distribution method. The branch plant would be headquarters for the UK operation and would not be manufacturing the product but headquarters for warehousing, distribution, and marketing in this location. It would need to be centrally located in one of the largest markets, which more specifically could be London. Convenience considerations. Aritzia would continue to sell their items through their website and in standing stores located in high-end malls and landmark shopping districts. By creating stores in England's most prestigious neighborhoods and shopping areas, Aritzia could be overpaying for the store's prime location, but will be able to create a large brand awareness that can allow them to further potential expansion. A location in the high-end mall would also offer a variety of customers in alternative marketing demographics. Moreover, putting this in a convenient shopping location that is targeted towards fashion would also attract tourists from other countries that do not have an Aritzia store of their own. Putting it in essential shopping districts allows people to go there already, and seeing the Aritzia store could be an added bonus because they are not able to have it in their own country or city. Pricing considerations. Premium pricing is the most appropriate method considering the clothing items that are made of high quality and from a very popular clothing brand. The high price is also due to the cost of manufacturing a superior quality product. With premium pricing, Aritzia will encourage favorable perceptions among buyers and penetrate the target market of women in middle to high class. Labor costs are not at all a factor, as almost all the products sold by Aritzia are manufactured offshore. All costs related to marketing and distribution will be offset by the fact that most items in the UK are more expensive due to the value of the British pound relative to the Canadian dollar. For example, it would not be unreasonable for a blouse which sells for $80 in a Canadian store to be priced at £55 in the United Kingdom. Aritzia would likely sell their products for a higher value once converted to Canadian dollars. This is just based off the overall cost of living in the United Kingdom, which is higher in most places than the cost of living in Canada. With high-end clothing products such as Chanel, Fendi, and Louis Vuitton, but it can also be seen as competitive with lower-priced, similar brands such as Zara. From a design and fashion point of view, they have established a similar cachet, but their price point is much more reasonable than most of these brands, and they will offer the English consumers high-end in design and manufacturing at a much more affordable point. Through the strategically located stores and growing brand awareness, English consumers will become more comfortable and familiarized with the brand and its sizing, and will gradually increase their online purchases. Before long, Aritzia will be able to lessen their dependency on bricks and mortar locations and gradually increase their online sales. With only a dozen or so strategically located showplace stores, and mostly online sales will become highly profitable. Promotion considerations. The promotional strategies will be implemented to increase consumer demand directly through internet advertising, sale promotion, public relation campaigns, and word of mouth. It is important to strategically target the market that you are trying to reach. Since Aritzia needs to become a mainly e-distributor, it will be important to use significant online advertisements such as Facebook, YouTube, and Google. It is also important that in the beginning that they should have holiday sales, but not sales too often, maybe lower end sales. You do not want to give away all your profit, but you want to draw the customer in. It's a fine balance. Lastly, communication considerations. A positive relationship can be built with consumers by ensuring employees and consumers are involved and engaged. This can be achieved by initiating conversations with customers online through social media such as popular fashion blogs or Instagram and Facebook. Replying to customer questions about specific clothing items or size or availability of a product will inevitably create a good impression with potential shoppers. Ensuring these types of engagements will create brand loyalty and thus increase sales by making the consumers feel like they matter.